And it even might be uncomfortable the first 10 to 20 times you do something, but the only way to get around that is to do it again and do it again and again and keep continuously proving to yourself that you can and build that self-confidence. You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt-out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt-out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello there, and welcome back to the Beyond the Classroom podcast for another episode. I am so happy you're here. I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, that you are well and happy and just everything is good. At the time of recording this, it's the beginning of June, so I know so many of us are getting ready for summer break, either getting ready to pack up classrooms for the summer or kids are heading home from school for summer break. So I know there's a lot of excitement. My boys have about 4 more days left of school, so that's 4 more school lunches that I need to pack, but we are all super excited for summer ahead. And I know that summertime is a time for so many of us, especially teachers, to really reflect and think about how the year went. It almost feels like the end, almost like the end of the year, like December, right? So coming up on a new school year, it's time to reflect and time to think. And I know that so many of us take time to think about how the year went, to think about things we want to change for the following year, and just how to make things better, right? How to become better teachers, how to become better people, how to become better parents, and just show up as our best selves. So today, I thought this was a perfect episode, something that you can think about over the summer while you are relaxing by the pool with a big, beautiful, fruity drink with a little umbrella, I'm sure. So while working with one of my coaches this year, I realized I had a big realization that the things that move me forward the fastest are the things that make me the most uncomfortable. Now, this got me thinking, why do we go out of our way to not be uncomfortable, so to stay comfortable? And also, why do we go out of our way to not make other people uncomfortable? Why is this? So we're going to talk about this today. We're going to talk about being uncomfortable, and we're going to talk about our brains. Your brain's number one job at a very primal level is just to keep you safe. That's all it needs to do, is to keep you safe. So in caveman days, your brain would essentially not want you to do anything out of the ordinary. Okay, so don't go down that unknown path. There might be a woolly mammoth there that's going to eat you. You stick to the ordinary, you stick to the familiar, and you stick to what you know, because that is what is safe. Okay, now our brains haven't quite caught up to us. We live in a very, very different world now than we did in caveman days, right? We typically now are not worried about woolly mammoths eating us every day or dying by poisonous plants or falling off a cliff. But our brain's instinct is to still keep us in the familiar, to keep us safe. So anytime we think of doing something that is different or unusual or out of the ordinary, our brain is like, wait, whoa, hold on, stop right there. And we get those physical feelings that we very well might die. And I often hear from clients, they have a lot of resistance and they're terrified to do X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of resistance around a specific thing that's going to move them forward. And it might be something like go live on Facebook or Instagram, or they're scared to share their offer, or they're uncomfortable following up with their clients, or they're scared to, put themselves out there. And I get it. And I'm sure you do too. There are plenty of things that we are scared of that we just don't want to do because it will make us uncomfortable. So we avoid that. But if you strip it down and you really stop to think, what's the worst that could happen? Will you die like the cavemen? No, you're just going to feel uncomfortable and awkward and weird, kind of like a first date, right? For a little bit. But when you come out on the other end, what usually happens? Well, first, right, we wipe the sweat off your forehead and think, okay, good, glad that's over, I did it. You feel a big sense of relief, you stop sweating, your heart kind of slows down a little bit, but then other things happen too. Number one, you start to build confidence. And I believe that true confidence comes with experience and doing something multiple times and tweaking and learning every time. Nobody comes out of the gate perfect. Nobody. So the more you do something, the more confidence you'll get, and the more confidence you'll build within yourself, which will move you out of that uncomfortable space. And number two, you start to show yourself that you can actually do uncomfortable things. This is about proving to yourself, not to anyone else, just to yourself, that you can do uncomfortable, hard things and get through them with grace. Every time you show up when you are uncomfortable, you build that self-trust and that idea and that belief that you have your own back. Every time a little more self-trust is built, and that is essential as you move forward trying to do something amazing. Number three, you learn a lesson, you tweak, and you do it again. So here is where the growth happens. Doing the thing and then reflecting on it is key. Tweaking it, deciding what went well, what tanked, what you might try differently, and then trying again. Every time you do it, you tweak, you reflect, and you go again. It's that cycle, and that's what's going to get you out of the uncomfortable space. And number four, finally, you make it less uncomfortable every time. So I used to tell my students this all the time. Like when we do something for the very first time, it is going to be hard or difficult and uncomfortable. But guess what? When we do it the second time, it's going to be a little bit easier. And then the third time, a little bit easier. The fourth time, a little bit easier. The fifth time, it's going to be a little bit easier. It's not as uncomfortable. It still might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not as uncomfortable as it was that first time. And it even might be uncomfortable the first 10 to 20 times you do something. But the only way to get around that is to do it again and do it again and again and keep continuously proving to yourself that you can and build that self-confidence. Okay, so your brain's other job. Your brain has another job, and it is to seek pleasure and relaxation. Your brain wants to relax. Doing things that are uncomfortable don't typically give us pleasure or relaxation. Something I personally think of that would make me super uncomfortable would be getting on a stage to speak. That sounds terrifying to me. And I'm pretty sure in the moment, speaking to a large crowd of people would not bring me any pleasure. Just thinking about stepping onto a stage to deliver a speech or presentation is making me start to sweat right now. And that would be the opposite of relaxation, right? My heart would be racing, my adrenaline would be pumping, and that fight or flight instinct would kick in, and I'm pretty sure I would want to run far, far away as fast as I could. However, again, when you really stop and think about it, is there really any true danger there? No. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? I might stumble over my words. I might forget what I was supposed to say. People might laugh, maybe. I don't know. I might feel embarrassed. People might think I'm not professional enough or smart enough or whatever enough. It's other people's perceptions of us that we're scared of. But that's actually not going to kill us, right? And if I have enough self-trust, and confidence that I can own it no matter what happens or no matter what anyone else thinks or says, then it's a success. It's not actual danger. So once you realize why you are uncomfortable and that it's just your brain, your caveman brain or cavewoman brain, right? Trying to keep you safe and not do anything out of the ordinary or uncomfortable, you can start to begin to rechannel that energy and turn it around. You can literally talk to your brain and say, hey brain, like, thanks so much for trying to keep me safe. I'm all good here. Now, I have this thing. I sound like that song. I have this thing every day. I have routines and rituals, and every single day, this really sucks. I have written down on my must do to-do list every day is to do something uncomfortable. Now I have this list of 6 or 7 things that make me really uncomfortable. And they're things that make me squirm and I really don't want to do them, but I know I need to. And I know this because these are the things that I know are going to move the needle forward. And I know they're the things I'm going to learn the most from and that are going to push me forward and continue to force me to grow and evolve. And every day I do something off of that list. Number 1, to push me out of the uncomfortable. Number 2, to prove to myself that I can do it. And number 3, to move the needle forward, right? And I am getting so used to being uncomfortable that it's almost getting laughable. I'm just really learning to lean into it and embrace it, but it really does suck right now. So my challenge for you is to first think about the things that make you uncomfortable. Now, this could be a conversation. This could be something you need to do as far as your business or your goals. This could be something that has to do with something you've wanted to do for a really long time and the resistance around it. So think about the resistance around whatever it is and what makes the idea of doing it so uncomfortable. Then just take a second and think about if it is actually a threat. Make a list of these things. Just do it. I did it. It's fine. You'll be okay. Also, think about how these particular things will change you, right? How it'll make you a better person, a more confident person, how it will move you forward. And again, I go back, I actually started this a while back when I really first started paying attention to my health, right? I knew that I needed to start moving my body every day. This was after having my babies and, just wanting to feel like myself again. So on my uncomfortable list, it was get your movement in every day. I did not want to do it. It made me uncomfortable. I would rather relax, right? Because my brain is telling me just relax or do it tomorrow. But I knew that if I stepped forward and I consistently did that uncomfortable thing, that it wouldn't always be uncomfortable. So think about the growth that would happen if you did whatever this thing is every day for a month or for a year or even for a week. What would happen? And then I challenge you to do one thing that makes you uncomfortable every day. Every day you got to do something. I think next week, it might be fun to document some of these things I do that are uncomfortable, and I will share them on Instagram. So make sure to come over and join me there so you can see all of me be uncomfortable and squirmy and awkward. But I encourage you to give it a try. Just do it. Go for it once a day. You can even do it first thing in the morning. That's what I always do, just to get it out of the way and get it done. And then it kind of sets the tone for the day too. I got it done. I did what I had to do. I'm proud of myself. And now no matter what happens during the day, at least I can say I did whatever it is that made me uncomfortable or whatever it is that moved the needle forward, and see how you feel just after a week of doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable every day. One of my clients the other day, she said, I am just tired of being in my own way. I'm going to get out of my way. And for her, this is taking that uncomfortable thing and facing it head on and just not worrying about it anymore, not overthinking it, not stressing, just going for it. So stop being scared, because now you know exactly what your brain is doing, what you can tell it, and how you can push through it. thank you so much for listening today. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like always, I'm very curious what makes you uncomfortable and what are you going to do about it? I will see you next time. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.